I kind of have my idea of what's been going on and what's been happening. But like, why don't we have a discussion about it? Because I think my experience is probably different than yours, right? Well then, throw yourself in there, girl. No, that's my reminder to ask him a question. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Let's start off with what's good. What are you grateful for? Bucket filling. Okay. Why are we signing in? That's a great question. We are signing in because we are keeping track of when we have guests here, because we have a lot of guests here. We're also signing in to make sure that our agents that are engaged are getting the material that they want from each of the classes and the meetings that we have. And the agents that are never here, we can reach out to them. So that's why. Good question. Marita.
Yeah, thank you to Barb for doing open house for me on Saturday. I sure appreciate her helping out with that.
Thanks, Barb. Who else?
I want to say thank you to Brenly for making the office so cool. Halloween's my favorite.
I know, spooky season is in full force. Thanks, Friendly. Okay, no, stop. Full stop. We were just having this discussion. Long fall, long fall. What else? Yes, we got a new, some might say inferior coffee machine, but Corey Miner has graciously offered to make us delicious coffee. Okay, so now we know. I'm like, it's not inferior, it has really good ratings. Why would we need to get one like the title company downstairs? That's what Jake's there for. He can't talk to us unless we go down there and make coffee. John. I hear those are Sean's favorite. Anyone else? Well, I'm really grateful for all the positivity that has been sent my way. There's a bunch of you, Jen, Kirsten. You guys send me really funny stuff online, and I love it, so thank you. It makes my day a lot happier. Anybody else before we move on? Any new agents, guests, visitors? Okay. She's not a guest. Kimber's a staple. She's always here. Whether you see her or not, she's like the man behind the curtain, only she's the woman behind all the tech.
Really quick, before we move on, please don't forget to sign in on the sign-up sheet that's going
We're waiting
around
till
so we
next
can
week.
keep track of everybody.
Sorry, what?
Just make sure you sign in.
Yep. Yeah, if you haven't, please sign in. Thank you. The Cultural Icon Award, so 2 weeks ago, lucky for, who had it? It's Jen. 2 weeks later. Do you want to come up and give it away? I know. Sorry. A well-deserved icon. So well-deserved you got it for 2 weeks.
So, a couple things. This office, for the last 12 years in my life, has been incredibly supportive. There are so many people, honestly, that have made a big difference and have created support, loyalty, fun. So, I was pretty surprised when my homie, Joe Black, gave me the award. He and I had some really great mindset conversations, especially during a really tough time in my life. I just want to say thanks, Joe, and Mom. And I just want to plug connection real quick. There's a lot of ways to connect to people that are easy and fun and natural, but please nurture those connections and really use the difference in your business. Without each other, we get isolated. It's not good. So please meet everybody. And I would like to be able to connect with.
She dressed up for the occasion too. Nope. Who knows Arturo? A few of you. So Arturo is our agent of the month. If you don't know him, he's always back at the Stern team. He is here all the time, always making calls, always has such a positive attitude. He and I joke about like man, are you like the only person on the Stern team here today? And we kind of laugh about it because we know it's not true, but he is that visible and always there. And so we're recognizing him as our agent of the month. He's bilingual. Spanish is his first language. So he does transactions in both. He has 3 citizenships. He hates cheese, loves to salsa dance, play soccer, and has recently learned to juggle. So make sure you go say hello to him and congratulate him on this honor. Sean, come tell us all about it.
Yeah, we have some pretty cool stuff about that. So it's right after team meeting. We have one loan grant. He's actually doing an application for life right now. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to stay. Rates, I'm sure you've seen interest rates are slowly getting a little bit better. And the Fed is actually announcing supposedly an interest rate cut tomorrow. Well, that's how much conversation. There's times where interest rates will actually jump. We all expect them to dip once the interest rate cut happens. So it's 50-50. We're kind of learning the dynamics on that. So it's also going to one-on-one questions. So if you have any questions, anything more again, come check out right after team meeting. So we're right here. And then on Thursday, we have our ALC meeting. So anybody who's welcome to attend, so you can see what's going on in the office. We're discussing all the decisions that we have. So you guys are welcome to attend that. It's in the boardroom. And then right after that, we will be doing wine down. We have to do it on Fridays and haven't had as many people show up. So we're hoping more people are engaged on Thursday. There we are. So there's some stuff lying around. It's wide around the office, but if you have anything you want to
Listen, it's BYOB and that doesn't always mean booze. Bring something you love to drink and come to me. I will have stuff.
she will have stuff, but and we have a disco theme this Thursday, so feel free to dress up
Dress disco,
appropriately.
there will be a disco ball, so.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Who came to the next slide? Who came to the virtual class last? Yeah, some good stuff. Presented, right? This is actually part of it. And Chris really went into a lot of detail on forms, having to pay, stuff like that. So what we decided to do is not necessarily a contracts class where you can talk to data or something sets up here's the reps, here's this. Okay, let's give you scenarios where you will go in there and say, here's 123 Main Street, write it off Ryan and here Beach. Just so we get practicing using these new forms, are you able to get the buyer up to broken compensation sign? If not, what do you do then? So we're gonna have just different scenarios out there. So that's going to be next Tuesday, right after team meeting. 12:30. So come check it out. Ask questions. But again, this is not going to be a class.
It's a workshop.
It's a workshop. Come here, come with the computer. We have city if you want to put your hand right. My point is be very engaged. That's next Thursday. We'll see you next Tuesday. So after that, and then the building. So.
Look at Marcel's photo. My first company does recognize how fun that is.
So yeah, Justin's having Marcel from Will Advantage come in next Thursday, so his monthly well-being class. I'm not really quite sure if they're supposed to focus on anything specific, Jay? Okay.
So Marcel's talking about his journey in wealth building and how he, over time, even though he's not an active sales agent, how he's acquired properties and built wealth to put him in a position where he can retire. If you guys know Marcel, he's got like what, a minivan full of children. Like, he has a big family that he supports, and on top of that, he's been able to build a pretty sizable portfolio real estate wise. And so this is going to be a really valuable class for those of us that are like, what money? Like, I don't know how, like, I'm making and I'm trying to live within my means, but there's just like everything's so expensive. How do you set aside that money and how do you get started on that investment journey?
That's right, and that's going to be awesome class then. Okay. So again, next Thursday here, and then a couple more things. So, I don't know if you guys have seen any of the announcements out going out for this. This is what Jim's been really working on. So Marty Miller is an awesome agent out of he was out of Houston, but now he's looking in Dallas.
No, so he actually was the regional technology trainer for Austin Southwest, and then he just purchased.
Well, what's cool about Marty is when the man got released a few years 366-day challenge is we have a different class each day posted on YouTube. So God really knows the man inside and out, really knows his vision of all things. So he set up a class, it'll be on Thursday, October 10th. So we got a couple of first on this. The moment break, and he's going to be in person meetings, correct?
Yes, and if you want to go, I would register today because it's almost at capacity. We can only fit 80 people when I'm
So, yeah, that's going to be a really, really good class. It's really looking to get people on traditional marketing. So, got that in a couple ways, and then upcoming classes.
So this is on your command dashboard. Now, instead of having to go to the hub or the link tree or find the paper calendars up front, you guys can go to your home screen in KW Command, go to Command Connect, Events, and Salt Lake City, and it will have all of our upcoming trainings right there, and you can register right there to attend. Even more releases to find all the classes.
Got it.
Another thing with that one is they asked me
Yeah, so you put that in your own personal calendar without ever mentioning you and everybody else in the meeting. So.
Okay. That's what I got. Thanks, guys.
Liz or Mike, do you want to talk to us about your next year partner benefits?
Yep, so happening next month, this will be the last one. This will be the last one for this year, so happy you know. This has been something that for this year was new, but has been really received well by our partners. So inviting all you guys to come out that morning, come and meet with them. It's been super successful. And then our goal is to help our partners think at a higher level business-wise.
Thank you. So yeah, mark your calendars, October 18th, we have a lot of stuff going on in October. The theme for October's class is all things scary in real estate. So anything that is scary can derail a transaction, doing your finances, making a business plan, all of that stuff happens in October. So make sure you're paying attention to that. And Marita, of course, we have a fun party.
Yeah.
It's scary when you don't call your clients, though.
South side of the barn. So we've got a great big activity barn. On the south side, we've got a big pavilion next to the education center, and that is where we'll be. We will have donuts and cider, and you know what? We're talking about having a pumpkin carving station set up. So, you know, what do you think about carving pumpkins? The mess. So your clients can come and run over to the pumpkin patch and buy a pumpkin and come over and carve it if they want to. So we can plus out from Halloween. Is that working? Okay, so you're about a week plus out from Halloween at that point on the 22nd. So come on by, but call your clients, invite them to come, send them an email this week, and get on the phone and call them and invite them to come. You do not have to pay anything just to come and hang out with us and have donuts and cider and walk through the pumpkin patch. It's completely free. If you want to go through, they've got a great big hay maze with like huge hay bales that you like walk through and get lost in the hay maze. That's going to be fun. They have that. They've got the wagon rides or the cow train. They've got like some activities, and those tickets are $10 each. If you want to get those for your clients, or they can get their own, $10 for those tickets to do the fun activities that they have at Wheeler Farm. Plus they've got an antique barn with antique farm equipment. That's just fun to walk around Wheeler Farm, especially this time of year, and hopefully the weather will be great. But that is our Q3 client event. So invite your people and come have fun and come party with us. Oh, wait a minute, one more thing. How many of you know you're going to participate in this event? Awesome, because only 4 of you have signed up. So go RSVP so that I know how many donuts to bring, okay? So RSVP, invite your people, and I will send out another email today letting you know the details.
It's like a classic affirmation of how people RSVP to things in Utah. They're like, yeah, I'm totally going, but no, I have not RSVP'd.
What time is that?
Yeah, 5 to 8 p.m. So after work, Fun times. Kimber.
There we go.
Yeah, here you are. So, well, yes, you need a mic, but you can put this on and I'll talk for you about this and then we have your slides next.
Okay, cool.
So, who here has been to Kimber's customer experience class? Okay, so what Kimber has condensed from a full all-day class for all of you is, what is it, three and a half hours. It's 4 hours of CE, but 3.5 hours of really a high-level client experience outline, a system, if you will, for how to take care of your clients and garner more referrals from your clients for future business. So this is a fabulous thing, a fabulous class to have right this time of year as we're going into business planning, is really refreshing and updating your systems. And Kimber is working towards her KW faculty certification. And we need to come and not only learn from her, but support her in this journey so that she can get this designation. There's how many people in KWRI? There's not very many.
So I'm working to be an approved trainer. There's about 150, and then there's 39 master faculty. So you have to do the approved trainer first.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm
Yeah.
going for.
So the only one that we have had the pleasure of having regular interactions with is Lee, and then Kimber will be the next one in our region. So please sign up for her class. Please come support her in that journey and improve your business all in the same 3 hours.
Amazing.
Okay, now you can go.
Yeah, so really I was gonna just add that exactly what Linda said, shameless plug. I have 40 evaluations I need to complete by the end of the year for my goal. And so, so just come and do your service to Kimber that day. And you'll learn a lot about what to do for your business as well. Okay, so exciting. We have KW Salt Lake listings live. You all received an email that is all the nitty-gritty details, but I wanted to walk through it with you while we're here. So, first step, first thing to be aware of, every listing that you put on the MLS, that's what you have to do in order for this listing to show on the site. There's nothing that you have to do for us to put your listing on there. However, the reason why we're creating a whole brokerage listing site is because we want to have the opportunity, if you have permission and if you would like to, for you to be able to advertise cooperative compensation on there. And so you'll have a form. You actually already had the form in this office. So this office may be a tiny bit more familiar with the process. You were a couple weeks ahead. But you just have to submit your listing to that form if you're wanting the compensation to be advertised on there. There's a second form. We're not trying to be too confusing, but there is a second form because we will only remove your listing from that website if it is changes to sold, canceled, expired, or withdrawn, or if you submit a form asking to remove it, right? Things change. Possibly you wanting to advertise that, or potentially the amount changes. So if there's any changes that need to be made with that, you submit the form. Otherwise, again, you don't need to babysit it. Once it's sold, we'll take it off there. And we look at these every 7 days. So we update it every 7 days. You probably already noticed this. We linked it in the email, but we had the first look email that we've been doing for about a year. So obviously with the changes, we've had to revise that a little bit. So now it is just brokerage specific. So you'll see the newest listings for the last week on that email. And as long as we have the forms submitted by then we'll make sure your advertising for your compensation is on there as well.
So what day of the week?
Thursday.
There you go. So if you take a new listing and it's going live, submit your form before Thursday.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'll just update it on the site every 7 days, right? So even if it doesn't go out in that email, the email is supposed to just be like your hot potato in front of you. Hey, this is what's the latest and greatest. There are a few rules that we have within the division that, because I am a marketing person, I really hone in on these rules, and I've learned them more than a lot of the other roles that, well, really all the other roles that Broker Dave knows. But one of the roles specifically with advertising statuses of listings is if you are advertising statuses, then you get to be in charge of keeping up with advertising the status of that listing. And so if anyone is wondering, when you go to kwsaltlake.com and see that there's not statuses on there, it's simply because we would have to constantly be checking to see, is it under contract, what's the status? And so that's the only reason why.
So longer exposure for your listings. This is great.
Yeah.
And again, just a really slick way. I don't know who's already checked it out or not, but the kwsaltlake.com, it's a really pretty site. And right now it says all of you are offering X amount of compensation. So make sure you use it.
Yes, yeah. So it will just be like a bunch of listings with not really a ton of info, or well, not that info. You can also, part of the form is submitting your landing page. So if you've gone in and created like a unique landing page that also has your compensation on there, we can link that when you go click on view listing instead of it just going to the MLS. But if it links to the MLS, obviously we can't advertise the cooperative compensation. And if you don't submit one, Dave has given us approved language that he feels comfortable with. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but
It's cooperative compensation will be negotiated within the parameters of an acceptable offer.
I mean, you got the best here. I couldn't think that up. Barb, did you have a question? Okay, it's new. There's a couple of moving parts. So if you have any questions, everyone on the leadership team is familiar with it, but I really want to emphasize this is running on autopilot, that you don't have to take action. Your listing will show, and it's a huge opportunity for you to take action if you want to leverage that to advertise cooperative compensation when applicable and when you have permission. And that's why we leave it in your court for that piece, because you as the listing agent is the only one that can really say if we can be advertising that.
Love it. Any questions?
Where?
Right here.
And I'm
Submit
guessing
your listing.
we'll link them on
That's the
Linktree.
site.
Or we probably
Yeah.
already have.
And it's
Yeah, I
already
was
on
gonna say.
Linktree too.
Yeah. So the other one's just for the updates. Something needs to change. You would like to remove it and it's not sold yet. That's totally fine. Otherwise, the other one is probably what you're going to be using the most. Okay. So I would send that, if you have a transaction coordinator, send that link to your TC right now and say, add it to the checklist is what I would suggest.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kimber.
Hey.
Okay, before we get into awards, I did want to talk to you all about this piece right here, because this was kind of a hot topic in the 3-hour mandatory course with Curtis Bullock the other day. There are 3 ways that buyer's agents can get paid. And each way is kind of unique to the situation that you might possibly be in. So before August 17th, the listing broker paid the buyer broker through an offering on the MLS. That was our contract. This is no longer here. So now, in place of this, we have broker-to-broker compensation agreements, which are a separate contract from the REPC, or you have the seller through the REPC. This is how the transaction goes. So, and within the REPC, the seller can pay the buyer broker. The seller pays the listing broker through an ERS, and the buyer potentially could be paying their buyer's agent. Now, from that class, for those of you that were there, what was a takeaway that you got from this diagram? Because he's right, as soon as it was laid out like that, all of us were like, oh, there really are 3 options. It's not just your only option is negotiating in the REPC. There's some other potential takeaways. So who was there, first of all? And what did you learn from this piece? Jen?
To go for the compensation, potentially broker to broker first, and then you could negotiate additional compensation on top of that. through the Rep C or directly from the seller, so that way you could get closer to your 3% sometimes.
Yeah.
So
So that was
more
an eye opener for me too.
opportunities, yeah.
I used this over the weekend and it actually worked out really well. So I called the listing broker and said, hey, are you guys offering compensation? And she said, yes, we are. We're offering 2.5%. And I said, great. Before we send over our offer, I'm going to send you broker to broker escrow instructions. She said, great. They signed them. Then we submitted our offer with an additional 0.5%, right? Unfortunately, they told us no, but my 2.5 that they were offering is protected. Had I negotiated that whole amount in the purchase contract, might have been a different story. Does that make sense to everybody? Kirsten, what did you pick up?
So when I asked him specifically, I said, if it were you and your professional opinion, which one would you use, the broker to broker or the on the Rep C? And he said, if you're in a multiple offer situation, use it on the Rep C because you just want to be fast and just get it moving. But if you aren't in a multiple offer situation and you have the luxury of a little bit of time, pre-negotiate through the broker to broker compensation, get that signed first like she just said, then do the Rep C, and then if you need to ask for additional, you can do it in there. But basically the Rep C option is the best option if there's a lot of competition. Otherwise, he said, do the broker to broker because then there's no room for them to change that once you go under contract.
Right, which is, I don't know, how many of you have written offers for buyers in the last couple of weeks? What's like the first thing that they're countering you back with? Right? Like, yeah, we'll take your client's offer. It's like $15,000 below asking price and has like $10,000 in closing costs, and we have no problem with that, but we're paying you less. So the broker to broker commission instructions are going to be kind of your safety net for if you're not in a multiple offer situation where that's going to likely happen anyway, just naturally, but protecting the amount that you have agreed to with your client, that's the best way to do it. Elise.
I asked the listing agent, are you offering buyer's agent compensation? Do they have to answer truthfully if it's in the
If their ERS says so, yes.
If the ERS says so, they have to answer.
Because their seller has authorized them to offer that much, yeah. I mean, here's what you're gonna get a lot of the time. Yeah, we're willing to pay you within the parameters of an offer, right? So but if you're having a conversation and you're really figuring out what the seller's motivation is and why they want to get it sold and how much they're willing to pay, like most agents are going to tell you if they do have an agreement, unless they don't. And when they don't, it's like they're telling you, hey, I don't have an agreement, put it in the contract and ask for what you need to have. Annie.
So they do have to tell you that they have something set, but they don't have to tell you what it is.
Correct.
And then on that form, presumably, because they have to have some sort of agreement with their seller, it just says zero there. And then the other thing I was going to say is that I found a lot of people, including myself 2 weeks ago, that don't even know what the broker compensation is. Like, this is all new, I haven't done this yet.
It's a lot of walking through it. It's not a new form. We used it in 2021 a ton. It's new for agents to get it ahead of time. And what it is it's an agreement between, like, Annie, if you're the buyer's agent and I'm the listing agent, it's our agreement separate from the contract that my seller has agreed to pay you. Yeah, no, I know, but in case no one else does. But yeah, it's that we have been running into that as well. It's a big thing where agents are like, well, what's this? Why do I sign it? When do you send that over? Because what happens if you send it with the offer? They don't have to sign it. Yeah. Clayton.
So just to clarify, are you contacting the listing agent or
Yeah.
the listing broker to do that?
Well, so the contracts are written as brokers, but these are agents. It's buyer's agent and listing agent.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Anybody else? Spencer.
I just had an interesting scenario on an offer I wrote over the weekend. The listing agent asked for my buyer broker agreement. Spoke with Dave, and he told him to go pound sand. And that's basically just due to your fiduciary duty to confidentiality. So
Yep.
people are asking to see buyer broker agreement, like you asking to see their ERS.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Curtis talked about was there are agents out there that are going to ask you, we want to see your buyer broker agreement. Do you have to give it to them? No. Do they have to show you their ERS? Also, no. This is, these new rules are really based on the fact that we are all members of the National Association of Realtors. We've all agreed to a code of ethics. We have to be truthful and honest in all of our dealings. And you're really just hoping that the other side understands that. Certainly we here at Keller Williams do. Any other questions? Kristen.
Or something, but I'm sure there are differences, but commission escrow instructions versus the broker-to-broker compensation agreement, are they kind of very similar or just because of the new?
Commission escrow instructions happen when you already have a contract in place.
Okay.
The broker-to-broker compensation is signed just broker-to-broker, and the buyer and the seller can sign it acknowledging it, but they're not a part of that contract.
Okay, that was my main question.
Yeah. Kirsten.
One more takeaway that I took from that was that he mentioned, make sure that you're catching if people are sending both and they have the same number on it. So like I got an offer where in the rep sheet it said 2.5%, but then the broker-to-broker said 2.5%. And I was like, you're asking for 5%, that's redundant. We need to take that one out. So they did remove the broker-to-broker and just kept the rep sheet as is. But just know that when you do the two, it's one makes up the difference of the other. Don't put the same number on both of them because then you're getting into a weird position.
I mean, or make sure your buyer broker is signed for higher than that, I guess. Yeah, like if you have a BBA at 5, then sure, why not? Anybody else? Okay, so let's chat about awards. You guys have been busy. August was an amazing month. Congratulations to Emily Brace. She is our August capper. You're all by yourself. Yeah, congrats. So for those that don't know, Emily is going to collect 100% of her commissions from now until the rollover of her anniversary year, which meaning you have paid all of your company dollar, and congrats, you get to keep all of your money. In August, the House of Excellence, we have Spencer Rathall, Andrea Gunnell, and Scott Murari. This is a closing or a listing over $1 million. $1 million month, look at all these great people. Annie, Mike, Russell, Stephanie, Ryan, Andrea, Spencer, Luann, Scott, Kirsten, Tamara, and Sydney, all with $1 million month. And our first listings, first closings, this is not necessarily ever, but first here at Keller Williams, Jocelyn, Jess, Rosanna, and Linda, all with their first listing or their first closing. And home runs, this is agents that took a listing, wrote a contract, and had a closing all in the same month. We got Nick, Russ, Andrea, Mike, Justin, Sydney, Lisa, Kirsten, Scott, Dave, Fox, Samantha, Linda, Muna, Melanie, Ryan, Nate, and Sean. For listings taken, individual agents, Mr. Nate Sassy with 8, Ryan Cannon with 3, and Kirsten with 2. Congrats. And for contracts written, Kirsten, you've been busy. 4 units, and you took a baller listing all while going through some major, major stuff. So congrats to you. Mike Fox, Mike Gable, Yamuna, and Spencer all tied with 2. And for individual contracts closed, Ben Beasley with 3, Luann Lackus with 3, and Kirsten with 3. For listings taken, this is small teams. We have Marian Favero with 6 listings taken, H&R Homes with 3 listings taken, and Mike and Gwen Hagan with 3 listings taken. And for contracts written, small teams, Marian Favero with a total of 5, H&R Homes with 4, and Duo Real Estate with 2. And for closed contracts, small teams, Marian Favero 5, and the Gunnell Williams team with 2. For our groups, the Stern team, listings taken, they had a total of 19 with AB and Eric tying at 4 each. And for contracts written, the Stern team wrote a total of 29 with Eric Fontana with 6 and Mike Walters with 4. For contracts closed, the Stern team had a total of 14 with Stephanie and Eric tied at 3 apiece. And the Crimson Club individual awards for the office, Kirsten, 9 units in August, Nate with 8, and Mike Gable with 4. And the teams, we have Marian Favero with 16 units in August, H&R Homes had 7, and Duo Utah Real Estate had 4. And for the groups, the Stern team with 36.1 units for a $21 million in volume, and the Heap Madsen team with an $800,000 unit there. The county-wide individuals, we don't have anyone from our office, but congrats to everyone solo agent in the county. On the teams, we have 2 with Marian Favero with 16 total units and H&R Homes with 7. And in the groups, the Stern team is back on top with 36.1 units and over $21 million in volume. For those of you that would like to post this on social media, it will be posted on all of our public-facing platforms, and Makai will have all of these slides for you individually tomorrow. So, congrats, everyone. Yancy and Joel, come up here. It's your turn.
Hi, guys.
Our hand mics are busted, but well, that one works. Well, we've got people on Zoom that can't hear you otherwise.
All right, how's everybody doing? Any questions about home warranties at all? That's mainly what we're here for. Everybody's talked about them. We're just here to answer any questions. I'm Yancy Scott with Equity Home Warranty. This is Joel Hawley. We brought you some Chick-fil-A today, so we won't be too long so we can stay nice and hot. But yeah, no, you're good. Any questions at all? Okay, you guys know all about home warranties. Remember on your listings, we offer the complimentary seller's coverage. So when you take that listing, you put it on there. If their water heater, their dishwasher, their disposal, something goes out while it's listed, we'll go in there and we'll repair it and cover it, okay? We're one of the few companies that are still offering that. You got anything to add, Joel?
I will add that we're one of the few, if not the only company that still has a $500 plan. Okay, there's been some rate increases over the last couple of years. We've kept our best plan at $500, kept our service call fee for your homeowners at $60. So we haven't increased any of our costs. We're covering everything our competition is, guys. We're just doing it at a little bit, at a discounted rate. We all have the same limits that we're following. So if you do want to write in $600 or $700 with our company, that money, that extra money goes to your buyers as a credit. Okay, $200 is quite a bit of money. You could rekey the house. You could get a furnace tune-up this fall. They could add $200 and get a second year of coverage, so their warranty is good for 2 years. So lots of different options with us where our prices are a little bit lower than the rest of the competition. Any questions about that we can answer for you guys? Okay. Awesome. Thanks for having us. Enjoy lunch.
Thank you. Okay, wants and needs. Who's got one? Kirsten. Find you a working mic.
Jocelyn and I still have a townhouse in North Salt Lake that's available. It's really cute. It's only 4 years old. It has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms as of right now, with an unfinished basement that has room for a living room, bathroom, bedroom combo. And we're listed just at $525, and we would love an offer.
Hannah.
I've got a listing in North Salt Lake as well in Foxborough. It is multi-level, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet, 3-car garage and RV parking. Open house tonight from 7 to 8, or no, 6 to 8. We'll have popsicles and hot dogs, so bring yourself if you're hungry. And then I also have a really spectacular luxury mobile home in Pleasant View still, and I really want you guys to bring your buyers up to that, so.
Luxury mobile home.
It's vaulted ceilings. It literally is like a luxury mobile home. It's in a brand new park. And that will have an open house on Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon from 11 to 2. So you really want to come to that one as well. Oh, Foxborough is $655. $225. And I also need to find like a 3,000 square footish home in North Salt Lake, Woods Cross, Centerville area with a 3-car garage and ideally a mother-in-law apartment, or at least like a big enough basement we can have our mother-in-law person. Thanks.
I have a duplex coming up today. It's $795. It's in Midvale, and it's $2,100 rent each side. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, side by side.
How much?
$795.
I've got a lovely first-time home buyer, FHA, please. 300 and under. Without $1,000 lot rent. Oh, that's not bad. FHA approved, 2-bed, 1-bath, east of the 15, Salt Lake County. FHA approved. Thank you very much. Oh, and I've got a townhouse listing. I'll probably be live in 2 or 3 weeks, finishing some handyman touch-up stuff. It's the Row House Townhomes, which are on West Temple, right next or near Public Coffee. Super cool units, high-end, Wolf Range, 3-bed, 3-bath. We'll probably list at $650.
Luxury townhomes and mobile homes. I have a 3-bed, 2-bath, that northern end of Olympus Cove, cute little thing with a 1-car garage. Probably list around 800 that'll go live at the end of this week. It's not luxury. It's like your perfect entry-level Olympus Cove house.
North Cove.
I have 3 homes that could stand an open house this weekend if anyone's looking for open houses. We have a townhouse in Provo that just reduced price to $315. It's in Provo Orem, close to UVU, and it can have a renter in it. So that's a great opportunity. We have a small 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in North Ogden that just had staging put in and fresh pictures done and going up on the MLS this week, and that's priced at $380. 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, single family house. And then we've got a beautiful custom home on the golf course in Saratoga Springs, overlooking the lake, mountain views, almost 6,000 square feet, 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom is drywall ready. And that is listed as dropping price this week to $800,000. So any of those 3 could be held open if you're looking for an opportunity to hold the open house, and we're looking for buyers on all of those.
Nice. Anyone else? All right. Go enjoy your lunch. Have a good week.